When my base commander summoned me to his office, his voice shook over the intercom. I expected trouble. But when I pushed open the heavy oak door, he was not behind the desk. He stood rigid near the wall, sweat shining at his temple. Seated in his leather chair was an older man in a spotless dress uniform. My eyes locked on the 4 silver stars on his shoulders. A 4-star general. I froze. Then he looked up, smiled like we were old friends, and said, "Hello again, Megan. I told you we would meet under better circumstances." My mind flashed back to the rainy night 2 weeks earlier, to a desperate post about a rare blood type, and to the stranger I had chosen to save. I am Megan Harper, 35, and my life has always run on the strict rhythm of military logistics. I tracked inventory, routed supplies, and made sure every crate reached the right place at the right hour. It was exhausting, invisible work, and I liked it that way. Most nights I came home to my small apartment, kicked off my boots, made something simple, and scrolled myself into sleep. That Tuesday evening had looked like every other tired night until an urgent alert appeared asking for immediate O-negative donors. One patient was critical. The blood bank was empty. The message ended with 5 words that made my stomach tighten. Minutes matter. I knew my own type. O-negative. I sat up so fast my coffee mug tipped onto the couch. I grabbed my keys and drove straight into a storm. Rain hammered the windshield so hard the wipers could barely keep up. By the time I reached the hospital's donation wing, I was soaked and breathless. Inside, the air was sharp with antiseptic and panic. A receptionist looked up when I said I was there to donate. Relief replaced her worry, and she waved me through. A nurse settled me into a vinyl recliner, cleaned my arm, and inserted the needle. When the dark blood started filling the bag, I let out a slow breath. A curtain rustled beside me. An older man was helped into the next chair. He looked exhausted. He wore an ordinary jacket. His face carried the weary strain of someone who had not slept in days. We talked quietly while the machines hummed. He thanked me for coming in the storm. His voice was soft, but there was quiet authority underneath it that made me listen. Before he was called away, he asked for my full name and my base assignment. I gave them to him without thinking. 2 weeks passed. I went back to cargo schedules, shipment logs, and long shifts. I forgot about the man in the donation room and assumed my blood had gone to some anonymous patient. Then, during a rushed morning shift, my supervisor came to my station looking like he had seen a ghost. He held a sealed directive. He did not speak at first. He just stared at me, then told me to report to the commander's office immediately. Rumors had already swept through the base that an unannounced audit was underway. My own name had been dragged into the noise. By the time I reached the oak door, my hands were cold. I knocked and stepped inside. My commander's voice sounded strained when he told me to enter. Then I saw the room, and every thought in my head stopped. He was standing by the wall, pale and rigid, while the man from the hospital sat in the commander's chair. I looked again at his chest. Then the stars. 4 silver stars. The general's smile was warm, but his eyes were sharp. "Hello again, Megan," he said. "I told you we'd meet again in better circumstances than a stormy donation room." My commander looked ready to faint. The general explained that he had hidden his identity at the hospital for security reasons, while undergoing a classified medical procedure. He said he had not forgotten me. Then he opened a thick folder on the desk. His expression changed from gratitude to steel. He had personally launched an investigation into our logistics office after my name kept appearing in reports that never reached the top. A small circle of officers had been burying my promotions and skimming funds meant for base supply operations. They had assumed I was too quiet to fight back. They were wrong. The general ordered the commander to suspend them and forward the case to investigators. Then he handed me a signed directive promoting me to Chief Logistics Officer. I walked out with my new insignia in my hand and my knees shaking. Good work could be erased if the wrong people wanted it to disappear. That day proved otherwise. One night in a storm, one bag of blood, one choice to help a stranger had changed everything. By evening, my name was on the roster, my office door had a new title, and for the first time in my career, The future felt like it belonged to me finally.